Hello everyone, and welcome to my B&B Gossips update channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Steffy erupts over Eric's betrayal, Daphne issues an ultimatum, and Sheila becomes suspicious. According to teasers for the upcoming 3 weeks of The Bold and the Beautiful, there will be a lot of heartache, shoddiness, tension and hot passion in Los Angeles. Sisters Brooke Logan Forrester and Katie Logan Spencer yell about Logan and Eric Forrester's desertion from FC at the beginning of the week. Is Brooke the most hypocritical person ever for accusing Katie of taking advantage of Bill Spencer? Rich Forrester and the dressmaker's persistent attempts to get Eric back to FC are the reasons Brooke is where she is. Ridge and Katie engage in combat as a result, and Bill intervenes to protect his wife. Ridge receives it from Bill, and they almost start fighting over Eric. In the meantime, Electra Forrester's romantic life is still being manipulated by snooty Ivy Forrester. This involves Auntie Ivy pressuring Electra in the direction of RJ Forrester despite the fact that the two are already attracted to one another. Ivy somehow gets Will Spencer to catch Electra and RJ sharing a kiss. Daphne Rose becomes aware of Ivy's dubious actions and becomes troubled by her destructive antics. When Daphne approaches Ivy, Ivy tells her to be quiet. One may envision Ivy pursuing Daphne in the same manner that she has pursued Melissa Dillon. Dillon apologizes for her role in the problem, after Will tells her about Electra kissing RJ. Will, on his side, could question Electra's level of commitment to him given how readily RJ can mislead her. Will and Dillon are tempted during this week. Why not? Could it be any more romantic that they share an address with a view of the Pacific and are unmarried and eager to socialize? Make sure to watch to find out. As she tries to conceive with her new husband Carter Walton Lawrence St. Victor, Daphne worries about the Ivy predicament. How will Carter respond to the snake in their midst if she informs him about Ivy? In another scene, Eric is prepared to return to Forrester Creations while Katie licks her wounds and Bill sobs over his ledger. What? We believed Eric to be more moral than this. Logan might be destroyed by his betrayal before it even begins. Eric Forrester, you are a disgrace. If Logan fails, how devastated will Katie be? Taylor Hayes and lustful Deacon Sharp make a valiant effort to avoid touching one another. Deacon and Taylor are extremely tempted during the week of Taylor and may choose to tempt fate, who happens to be the murderous Sheila Sharp. Deacon keeps delaying any bedroom activities. How will he tell her that he doesn't want her? Additionally, Sheila might become aware of her husband's wandering eye if Deacon decides to stop therapy with Taylor. If Taylor finds out about what's happening, Steffy Forrester might start shooting at her. If Taylor didn't leave Deacon alone, Steffy pledged to keep her family away. Is Steffy willing to fulfill this promise? To put it simply, she shares many characteristics with her feisty grandmother and namesake, Stephanie Forrester. Spoilers for Specialicious The Bold and the Beautiful hint that in the upcoming days and weeks, a number of characters will play with fire, causing extensive chaos and turmoil. Ivy would have been slapped down by Stephanie Forrester for harassing homeless Dillon. The Forresters are going to hell in a handbasket, and it's all their fault, according to spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful. Is there anything sacrosanct these days? As FC burns like Atlanta in a bygone period, the clan needs a solid dressing down from its late matriarch Stephanie Forrester, who has been brought up a lot in recent weeks. Although she is no longer with us, her ghost would be appalled by the state of the clan. After Eric Forrester left FC to work for a new, rival fashion brand, Logan, after being dismissed by Rich Forrester, FC is having problems. As her family burns itself to the ground, why isn't Ghost Stephanie yelling from the sky? This is the perfect moment for a ghostly apparition, and amidst the family feuds, there is a major reason why Stephanie is turning over in her grave. Let's first talk about Stephanie when she was at her best. She founded FC with Eric Forrester and was feisty. She had no grievances or mischievous behavior throughout her life. Ridge's forced retirement party stunt would have resulted in her firing him. We won't even discuss what she would have done to Eric if he had defected to a Logan-run business. Susan Flannery, an Emmy winner who made her debut with the show in 1987, played Stephanie. Stephanie passed away at Brooke Logan's due to lung cancer. As an aside, this scene was supposed to represent the transfer of power to Brooke, but look what she did with it. Ivy Forrester is committing the most heinous crime as she harasses Miss Dillon, a homeless person. In a storyline that was groundbreaking at the time, Stephanie was homeless herself before welcoming Daisy, another homeless woman, into her life. Few persons are aware of Ivy's deceit, but Stephanie witnessed it all and would have taken immediate action to put an end to the chaos. Ultimately, the show's first overt homelessness PSA has developed into a romantic triangle including Dylan, Will Spencer and Electra Forrester, and it will probably be a component of the pregnant brewer's dramatic exit. The weight of homeless people is compressing the pavement in Los Angeles today. If a face-to-face reunion of Stephanie is not possible, how about an on-screen retrospective of the matriarch who would have done everything in her ability to save FC, her conflicting family, and a helpless girl being tormented by a Forrester? Electra can now turn to a new boy. According to teasers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Electra needs to bury her sorrows someplace, so why not with her cousin? Electra Forrester finds it intolerable that Will Spencer would be in close proximity to any other girl, particularly Dylan. Dylan did, after all, perform ballet for Will. The atrocities. After she did something so terrible, how could he not put her out on the streets? Dylan ended up becoming some sort of best friend. Electra would rather see her eating out of garbage on the street than in close proximity to her boyfriend. So, confident that Will would comprehend, Electra put everything down in a letter. Of course, rather than offend Electra's sensitive feelings, he would let someone reside in their automobile. Electra gets depressed again and goes to the attractive RJ Forrester for solace when Will doesn't react the way or as soon as she wants. She fills RJ in on the awful Will and his treatment of her, including allowing a female to dance in his living room. Will is eager to hear anything the relative he has never met before has to say since he believes Electra is amazing. He finds it unbelievable that Will would let a girl like this escape. Unfortunately, she is his cousin, but they aren't related by blood, are they? This time Brooke Logan definitely succeeded. She was shocked that her sister simply wanted to start her own version of Forrester Creations using her own last name and Eric Forrester of all people, and she said far too many derogatory things about Katie Logan. How could she? Katie will explain how she could to Brooke. It's because she is independent and capable of making her own choices, which in Katie's opinion are generally wise choices. If Eric approached her and wanted to design, why wouldn't she hire him? Ridge Forrester and Brooke no longer desired him, but Ridge and Eric appear to have reconciled during their conversation upstairs. Does Katie need to look for a new designer as a result? Will is set up by Ivy to see RJ and Electra's kiss. RJ Forrester and Electra Forrester will become closer, with disastrous consequences, according to The Bold and the Beautiful. Will Spencer is going to see something startling as Ivy Forrester's deception goes on. Will might eventually locate Melissa Dillon in the first episode and confide in her about his inability to reach Electra. Dillon might urge Will to give it another go and offer an apology for being the initial cause of his problems with Electra. If Will is ready to go to Bill Spencer and find Dillon a comfortable room somewhere else, he might even recommend an alternative housing arrangement. In any event, Will return to Forrester Creations, possibly in part to reconcile with Electra and in part to get the necklace he left behind. Regretfully, Ivy has been acting as a matchmaker, ruining Electra's remaining relationship with Will. Ivy stole Electra's letter to Will and replaced it with Will's necklace on the table, so Electra assumed Will had read it and concluded their relationship was finished. After that, Ivy sent RJ to the Forrester showroom, where he hurriedly embraced Electra. In Wednesday's show, RJ will be even more dependent on Electra, so he will be angry by Will's treatment of her, and end up kissing her passionately. Ivy will undoubtedly set up another round of heartbreaking news, so she might inform Will that Electra has been waiting in the showroom, and was searching for him earlier. Will find RJ kissing Electra by the time he enters. It will shatter. Will finds it heartbreaking that Electra is moving on so quickly, especially because he is unaware of the letter and Electra's desire to have a real conversation. Even though Electra basically obtained that through Ivy's jewelry deception, it will appear as though she is leaving Will behind her without any true closure. According to previews for The Bold and the Beautiful, Ivy will be happy when she thinks she has successfully split Electra and Will apart forever, so pay attention. Brooke and Katie's relationship was already strained. However, things blew up in the episode once Eric's secret was shockingly revealed. He was the Logan Fashion House's chief designer. With a flurry of charges, Brooke cornered Katie. She said that in order to disparage Forrester Creations, Katie and Bill took advantage of Eric's reputation, heritage, and creative restlessness. Brooke thinks she is the only Logan in the fashion world, but Katie reminded her that Eric was motivated to work with them due to his forced retirement. Now that Katie is establishing herself as a formidable force, it might all change. She desires to leave the Forrester influence and her sister's shadow. Katie put her future ahead of her family's allegiances. Viewers were also left wondering by their exchange whether Brooke truly cares about Eric's well-being. Perhaps she's more worried that the Logan brand might outperform Forrester Creations? Ultimately, a split house still exists. While Katie spearheads her own fashion firm, Brooke continues to be connected with Forrester Creations. For the first time in years, the sisters will face off against one another directly. Their personal life will be impacted by this tension. The Logan sisters' capacity to stand by each other no matter what will be strained as Donna is forced to take a side. But all she wants to do is encourage Eric to make whatever choice he chooses. He seems to be going back to work with Ridge at the end of Monday's episode. Given that the sisters are at each other's throats, will the Logan brand endure? Will it be able to exist without a chief designer? Brooke and Ridge find out about Eric. Before Christmas, Ridge made a significant choice when he decided that Eric ought to give up the fashion industry. Convinced that he still had a lot of creative energy and had no intention of giving up, Eric pushed back. Eric felt marginalized at Forrester Creations as Ridge proceeded with a retirement ceremony in spite of that opposition. After being sidelined, Eric found it difficult to enjoy the holidays as a result of the situation. After their remarriage, Bill gave Katie a fashion house, which gave her a fresh opportunity. When Katie realized she needed a seasoned designer to steer the business, she looked to Eric, who soon proved to be the ideal candidate. Eric kept his involvement with Logan a secret due to possible repercussions. Eric committed himself into developing fresh ideas behind the scenes while Katie and Brooke sorted through branding choices and the company's strategy. In the end, Katie chose to proceed with Logan as the fashion house's official name. Bill encouraged Eric to complete the drawings as soon as possible because launch pressure was increasing. As the new business approached its launch, the time frame became even more constrained because Katie and her team still needed to realize Eric's vision. Eric had a respiratory problem during pushing, and Donna attempted to transport him to the hospital. Ridge and Brooke were unaware that Eric had taken over as Katie's new designer. Liam also learned, but he chose not to tell Hope.